when you do decide to date these men, you have to know that the goal in all cases is for you to continue to second guess yourself. You have to second guess yourself. You have to be unsure for it to work out for him. Because the more insecure you are, the more you question everything about yourself, the more secure he is in his conquest of you. So there's this book written by Neil Strauss, and it was published in 2005. And this is before Red Pill. This is before Andrew Tate. This is before Kevin Samuels. And the name of this book is called The Game. And I'm just going to read you a little bit about this book. And it says, hidden somewhere in nearly every major city in the world is an underground seduction layer. And in these layers, men trade the most devastatingly effective techniques ever invented to charm women. This is not fiction. These men really exist. They live together in houses known as projects, and Neil Strauss, the best-selling author, spent 2 years living among them, using a fake name called Style to protect his real-life identity. The result is one of the most explosive and controversial books of the year, guaranteed to change the lives of men and transform the way women understand the opposite sex forever. And if you read a book like The Game, you as a woman would no longer date these men. The goal of the entire book is to reduce the mental clarity of women. You have to keep women going back and forth like hamsters on a wheel in order for you to conquer them. And this is why I say men love to see women participate in busy work. They love to see women participate in busy work because if she's busy with work, if she's busy beating her face, if she's busy shopping for a dress, if she's busy picking out the right shoes to go with that dress, getting her hair done, getting her nails done, if she's busy with this performance of femininity to date him, then she's not thinking clearly. And she's definitely not thinking about, why am I doing all of this for a guy who works at Wendy's? You see, so the busy work is also deliberate. You performing, you turning yourself into, this show for him, it gets you occupied. And this is exactly where he wants you to be, because the more occupied you are, the less you question his motives, the easier you fall prey to his quote unquote niceness, because that's another key factor in the book. These men have to be nice to you because women have been conditioned to believe that nice men are potential dating, candidates. That's what they've been conditioned to believe. They've been conditioned to believe that, well, if he's a nice guy, he's not like the rest. Nice guys are the worst men on the planet. Give me, especially from a place where I am from, give me an asshole any day. I appreciate the asshole more than the person who's trying to be nice. I don't trust nice people. And if you do meet a person, and this goes for men and women, if you do meet a person and they're overly nice, or they're overly giving, or they are overly talkative, or overly sharing all of their information about their personal lives with you, and you've only known them for like 47 minutes, yeah, run away, because that person is not well. That's not normal, right? And I think when you read books like The Game, it's really heartbreaking to see how so many women probably have never even heard of this book, but had been victims to the tactics used in this book. Sometimes I look at women and it's like, how did he manage to get her on a date? How did he manage to get her pregnant? How did he manage to even get in her vicinity? It doesn't even make sense a lot of the times. You see these beautiful women and you see them succumb to men who look like they haven't showered in a year. They look like slobs. Their bellies are hanging over their pants. They have male boobs. They don't have a muscle in their back that you can find through a wet t-shirt. That's just how they look. And who do they get? the America's Next Top Model girl. Why? A lot of the times I believe, especially because this book is so old, these men are using the tactics in this book. And one of the tactics in this book, especially when you date someone, because it's all about dating, because when you date someone, you are first you're coming in contact with a stranger. You're putting your best foot forward. So these men, dating is the time that they have these prime opportunities to ruin their conquest, because you have to ruin the woman mentally. You have to ruin her, her self-esteem so that she can lay down with you. It's kind of like the way the book explains it. You have to put the woman on the level that you are on. And because he already feels like shit, he has to get you to feel like shit in this dating phase so that you can kind of shrug your shoulders and sleep with him because, well, you can't do any better. So it's better to just fall for the nice guy, right? Because you've been conditioned to believe that the nice guy is a good guy. The nice guy is not a good guy. And you've also been conditioned to believe that well, not really, because the bad boy who a lot of women are attracted to, he's a piece of shit too. The bad boy and the nice guy are both pieces of shit. And they're both in this book, because the bad boy, his tactic is silence. And what do women love more than a man ignoring them and being silent? Because when you're being ignored, a lot of the times women, they panic, they lose their shit. They perform harder when they're being ignored by a man who they are interested in. And the thing about the nice guy is that if the nice guy still happens to be unattractive and you so happen to date him, and you think that, well, he's not in my league, I'm just going to give him a shot. He already knows that he's not in your league. And because you're giving him pity, attention, because he knows that he's not in your league, he will do everything he can to reduce you to nothing, because he's getting back at you for you believing that he's not even in your league. Right? And you see this all the time. You see these beautiful women and they get humble, I like to say, by a man who looks like a frog. And he deliberately does that because he resents you for thinking that he's not in your league. So he will be nice to you until he traps you. Usually that's with a baby. Usually that's with marriage. If he so happens to marry you, well, it's most likely a baby, because there's nothing worse than getting pregnant by a man who you believe that you were better than. Because if you believe that you were better than him and he managed to get you pregnant, then the shoe is on his foot now. And you look like the idiot. And a lot of the times when you read books like The Game, the goal is to always make the woman look like an idiot. So this is when I say in West 4B to not date these men. You shouldn't be dating these men because there are no benefits to you in dating these men. You feel that I'm going out to get to know someone. They don't want to know you. They're not interested in knowing anything about you. And this is you, and you know this because you hear married women all the time. My husband doesn't know my favorite color. My husband doesn't know my eye color. My husband doesn't know my birthday. There's so many married women who are married to men, and these men don't give a shit. So when you date them, why do you think that he wants to know you? He doesn't want to get to know you. He's playing as if he does, but in actuality, he doesn't. What he's trying to do is he's trying to break you down so that he gets what he wants in the end. And that's the whole book. The whole book is about that conquest. And it's about reducing women and having her constantly step all over herself to get the guy. And he also talks about in this book, women are very competitive. And I said this in my last video. Women are very competitive. They have to kind of show other women that they're winning. And how can you show other women that you're winning? You have to have a man on your arm, right? But hopefully, West 4B, if when it keeps going, the flex will be, I don't have a man. I'm not dating anyone. And that's a flex. I don't have those type of mental, stressful problems. When someone looks at you, you're going to say, no, I'm not married. I don't have those problems. I'm not a mom. I don't have those problems. And you will be, the women who don't have those things will be the envy of the world for tomorrow. Because that's what it's about. It's about surviving. And you cannot survive when you're doing things for the man, including dating him. There's no benefit. If you feel like you want to go out on a date, if you do have friends, get a few friends together and go out. Go out, go to the movies, go to Madison Square Garden, go to, I don't know, go to the Barclays Center. Do something. Yeah.